Growing food is a passion.
But farming is a business, and businesses have to make money.
We've been crunching the numbers, it's tax season, and we are finally ready to share how much money we made farming in 2021.
These are the real numbers. We tried to include all of our expenses and capture all of our revenue in this video, so it's going to give you an accurate picture of what our third year farming was actually like.
Welcome to Red Roof Family Farm. We just completed our third year growing here in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. We grow flowers and veggies, which we sell down at the farmer's market and also here at our roadside stand.
I really love farming. Probably my favorite part about farming is just being a part of the community. You know, we've been in Kelowna for 15 years or so, and for the majority of that time, I was working away from home in forestry, and it didn't really give me a lot of connections to people in the Kelowna area. Now when I go around town, I see customers, I see fellow vendors, I see people that I know from the market, and it just makes me feel like, Kelowna is my home more than it ever has felt before.
And how can we not love spending our days out in the farm, out in the fields? It's so beautiful to be here, and it's such a nice feeling to be able to spend this time together as a family. This video is sponsored by Taylor Brands.
But we know you're here for the numbers, so let's get to it.
This year on the farm, we made $7,000 on our seedling sale. Every year we do a seedling sale where we sell vegetable plants for home gardeners. We sell a lot of tomatoes, and this year we increased our price from $3 to $4. But despite that, we sold about the same. So we actually sold less number of plants. We had a very cold spring this year, so because of that, some of the plants weren't as large as they've been in past years, which might have affected it. Part of it might have been that in the previous year, there was a COVID plant frenzy, and we had people desperate to start home gardens. Even though we made $7,000 in both years, this year was a lot more successful because we used local line to facilitate our sales, and it made it so the work of selling the seedlings was infinitely easier. But despite that, we're actually not going to be doing the seedling sale again in the future. There's no 2022 seedling sale. $7,000 is actually a lot of income for us. It's a huge contributor to our total sales for 2021, but it's not our long-term customers, and it's a lot of work at a very bad time of year for doing the seedling sale. So we think we can actually make more money in the future by getting rid of it.
This year at farmers markets, we sold about $19,000, which is pretty good. We had 20 farmers markets, and about 16 of them we had fresh flowers for. Our best market was almost $1,600, and our worst market was around $300. So there's a pretty big difference between there. And the difference, obviously, is those fresh flowers and how much money they bring in. Last year, we never even sold over $1,000 at a single market. We kept striving for it, and we could never get there. This year, we were hitting $1,000 during the peak of summer, market after market. And if we missed it, we only missed it by a small amount. And multiple times we were getting up close to that $1,500 mark or over it. That really is where we need all of our markets to be in the long term. The farmers market that we did was the Saturday Kelowna's farmers market. There's also a Wednesday market that is a bit slower, but still a really good market. We had planned to do that all summer. And instead, once we got into the season, we decided to prioritize making YouTube videos instead. So the farmers market was supposed to be more revenue than it ended up being, but the YouTube made up for that. I love doing the farmers markets. It's the highlight of every week during the summer, and so I'm excited to do them again next year. I'm always excited for the farmers market. I always have energy to do a farmers market.
And finally, our on-farm sales were $9,000. This year we made a big upgrade to our on-farm sales infrastructure. We used to sell out of our carport. We just had a fridge and a table set up. People would pull in down our driveway, grab the things they were looking for. It was very casual, but it did fairly well for us. But one of the biggest assets of our property and our farm is we're on a very busy road. So we wanted to be able to sell on that road. This year we built a roadside stand, and now it's super easy. They can pull off very safely from this road, grab the things they need. We're very visible. We think it's really going to increase our sales.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the roadside stand completed until September, which is pretty late in the season up here in Canada for farming. But we did have it in time for Canadian Thanksgiving, which is in October, and we had really strong sales throughout the Thanksgiving weekend, which really excited both of us, especially with the flower bouquets. They sold really well from the roadside stand. We would make them, and as fast as we could make them, they were selling, which is exciting because the customers that are driving by really seem to want to buy flowers. That's what they're especially looking for. So we think that the potential for the roadside stand in the future is tremendous.
So that means our total sales for 2021 is $35,000. But this is sales, not money in our pocket at the end of the year.
Gross isn't net, so we need to talk about our expenses.
But first, this video is sponsored by Taylor Brands, a one-stop shop for aspiring small business owners, offering you everything you need to launch your business in one place. I know a lot of you are thinking, $35K, that sounds pretty good. Though, like I said, that's gross. We still have to talk net, but a lot of you could do that. You could start a business. Before we sold anything on our farm, we had to set up our business, and that meant logo, email, business cards, website, all of that. And as I sit here and I reflect back on my year farming, I think maybe I have a better idea. Cat hats. So let's go make a logo. Okay, so a little bit of a backstory here. I really struggled when it came to designing the Red Roof Family Farm logo. It was hard for me to know what it was that I actually wanted out of a logo, and I spent 2 entire days of researching. 2 days that I could never get back. I'm happy with my logo in the end, but one of the things that I love about Taylor Brand's logo designer is the fact that it makes it so simple. It asks you the questions that you didn't know you needed to answer in order to come up with a logo that you'll like without making it so you have to overthink things like I did. They allowed me to clarify what I wanted in 60 seconds, and that is valuable business time as a business owner. There's a lot of things to get set up in the beginning, and having this go quickly and smoothly was amazing. They offer trademark, LLC, domains, website, business mailbox, merch, business cards, and more. I decided to design a business card. Went in there, cats and top hats, everything that I needed, fast, easy. And I also really liked the other easy and simple design services. I was able to find what I wanted to match my branding, get my color theme, have it be the font that I enjoy, and I'm ready to go and get all of my social media set up. Make sure to check them out. There's a link in the description, and use coupon code CAN'TEATTHEGRASS40 for 40% off.
It takes a lot of money to start a business, and even though this is our 3rd year, we're still doing a lot of that introductory spending. In 2020, it was a lot of like nickel and dime stuff, buying lots of, small stuff here and there that really added up to a lot of money. In 2021, it was some really big infrastructure builds that had very big price tags attached to them.
Our number one biggest expense this year was having an employee. The employee cost us $18,000. Food doesn't grow itself. There is a lot of work to be done on a farm, and having the employee really saved our butt this year. Having that extra set of hands, someone there to work on things when I was unwell, someone there to work on things when we were being divided into different parts of the business, really made the workflow on the farm a lot easier. So even though this was our largest expense of the year, I feel it was, money well spent.
Next up was another massive expense, and that is our 3 greenhouses, which cost $16,000. Now, 2 of those greenhouses are already up. There are 2 new high tunnels that are at the bottom of the farm. But the 3rd one we haven't set up yet, and it is quite large. It's larger than all the others, and it is the bulk of that expense. It's 30 feet wide by 70 feet long. It's So it's about the same size as our outbuilding. And we plan on setting that up for this spring. This is one of those like big infrastructure investments that we just bought, and we're going to benefit from this for years to come. So we're only 2 expenses in, and we're already basically at 0. So I think you can see where this is going to go. 2 other major infrastructure projects were the walk-in cooler and the roadside stand. These combined together cost us about $11,000. Some of that was the purchase of the trailer. Some of it was labor, which we paid to get the roadside stand built. And then the rest was supplies and materials. And, you know, that's money well spent, but it is still a lot of money.
I'm very excited to have both the walk-in cooler and the farm stand for years to come.
Yeah.
They're gonna make us money.
For sure.
Next up is a massive self-indulgent spending spree, which is all of the seeds and plants that I have on the books for 2021. At Johnny's Seeds, I have spent $3,300 for a massive order that will be planted in 2022. I also spent $1,000 on mid-season purchases, stuff for my succession planting. I spent $600 at Sunflower Selections for all of our sunflower seeds. I spent $1,000 on Lysianthus plugs, which will be showing up this spring. I spent $3,000 at Van Noort on our tulip bulbs, which are currently in the ground and hopefully not being eaten by voles. And in the spring, I spent $3,500 with Van Noort to buy all of our big perennial purchases and our dahlias for a total of $12,400. That is a crazy amount of money to be spending on seeds and plants. And it wouldn't make sense if it was just for, you know, flowers to be sold next year. It would mean our farm will never work and never be profitable. But for context, some of that stuff is more expensive. It's investments into long term in the same way of the infrastructure.
Yeah, perennials.
It's perennials that, you know, you buy them once, you grow them for many, many years. And that's the case in, you know, both, you know, seed purchases as well as, you know, some of those Van Noort purchases. So it's not just a 1-year expense.
Sometimes I think that you became a farmer just so you could seed shop.
That's kind of true. Once I had all those seeds, I needed something to be able to grow it with. And so we spent $4,600 on compost and potting soils. I'm super excited about the dried flowers that we grew and saved up all this year. But here's a surprising expense that I didn't anticipate when I did dried flowers. We spent $140 on cardboard boxes because we had to buy boxes big enough to store how tall the dried flowers were, which meant we had to buy very expensive cardboard boxes.
Turns out everything costs a lot of money right now.
We also spent $850 buying wreath making supplies. And this is, you know, a long-term investment. This is going to make it so I can use up all those dried flowers into beautiful things for the next few years. I did a massive U-line purchase in 2020, so we didn't have to do much spending for that this year, but I have a U-line specific stapler and I ran out of staples, and the only place I could buy them was with U-line, so we spent $110 on staples this year.
There's expenses just related to running the business. We spent about $400 signing up for QuickBooks, and we spent about $330 on Square fees, things that made our life easier but still cost money.
And because we sold cut flowers, which are taxable, unlike food, we actually have a $2,000 tax bill that, you know, we have to remit to the government.
We spent $3,000 on farm insurance, which was a bit of a thing because our previous insurer, which was a broker, could no longer find farm insurance for us. And so we had to shop around and find someone else. It's actually getting really hard for small farmers to find farm insurance now. Luckily, we did find it and we actually saved some money. So
I've never been so excited to spend $3,000.
Yeah, we were getting worried there for a bit.
Finally, we actually forgot about this one because we bought it so early in the year, but we spent $5,000 on irrigation. At this point, I think we're getting close to like $20,000 deep in irrigation costs, which is crazy when you consider that we have a half acre in production. But yes, we yet again spent many thousands of dollars on irrigation.
Lots of our audience is in the US, and you have to understand that prices are more expensive in Canada for a lot of these types of items. Our money works a little bit different. I think our wages maybe would be higher on average, but our costs can be a lot higher as well, with like less selection to go along with that. So just because our numbers might not seem real to you, they are real to us. This is the reality of living in Canada.
Yeah, we're not lying. There's a few more bits and pieces and details to it, but we figure we're at about $71,000 in spending for 2021, which puts us in the hole at
$36,000. So next time you're at the farmer's market and you look at our prices and think we're ripping you off, realize that we're actually doing this for less than free.
It's kind of pathetic to know that we're in the hole more than we made. Our final negative is more than the gross.
Yeah, farming ain't easy, that's for sure.
So just for final clarification, our farm grossed $35,000 this year, but our farm made, or net, minus $36,000.
I believe that's called a loss.
Major losses.
It takes time to grow a profitable business. This was year 3 of our 5-year plan to get to profitability. We weren't planning on being profitable this year. I don't know if we were planning to lose this much money, but life happened this year.
We didn't sell as much as we hoped this year. Going into 2021, our goal for the year was to sell $60,000. We were going to achieve that by having the employee so that we could produce way more, going to more markets, and life happened. I ended up getting sick. Things were a lot more chaotic on the farm than they'd even been kind of in those like first years that were, actually a lot more difficult for the farming. In total, we missed about a month of farmers markets, so we could have made a lot more even with those single markets added in. The reality is life happens, and we can't be building a farm expecting that we'd never have years like this. There's going to be bumps in the road, and to build a successful business, you have to build it, expecting life to happen. Next year is a new year, a new plan. Going into 2022, we're completely changing what we're doing on the farm to make it work better for us and also hopefully, a little bit more profitable. Up until this point, we have been a veggie farm that sells flowers, and next year we are going to be a flower farm that sells veggies. We are going to be really leaning into the success that we saw with doing bouquets. We knew that they sold amazingly at our roadside stand, like Ian said. They sold amazingly down at the farmer's market. That's the reason why we're getting those really high sales compared to last year. So it's only logical that we follow where the money is and, we really go for it. Mm-hmm. We're also going to be selling carrots and salad mix because those are also good, strong sellers. We don't expect next year to be a massive sale year. We're not sitting here saying that we're going to be grossing $100,000 and it's all going to be net in our pocket. But we do think that next year we are going to be, setting ourselves up for future success. We aren't going to have another $71,000 infrastructure bill.
If this was the only way we made money, then we'd be in pretty big trouble. But this isn't our only business. We actually have 2 businesses. YouTube
videos. And in our next video, we're going to share how we actually make money on the farm. So make sure to check it out. Don't forget to check out Taylor Brands, link in the description, and use code CAN'TEATTHEGRASS40 for 40% off.
Supporting our sponsors helps to support our channel. So if you're in need of services such as what Taylor Brands has to offer, you should check them out.